Hey permaculture people, it's Teddy Matson, Seed of Life Permaculture, the Dirt Goat Permaculture podcast. Just doing a early summer garden update. Right here I'm showing you some Stropharia growing out of the wood chips that the compost area is situated upon. Got a potato growing out of the compost. There's the water. Here's the main crop row garden. Things doing well in there. Got a long line of potatoes on this side of me and on this side of me, and broccoli, garlic, tomatoes, potatoes, onions, more potatoes. This trench here is going to be filled with woody debris to make a hugel path for this swale. Most of my hugels these days are paths of swales. They're hugelized swales. Here we got transition from potatoes into broccoli and peas and beets and onions and field weeds, field plants, including strawberries, grass, obviously, and other, innocuous or beneficial plants. Here's the tomatoes and peppers and wild arugula and squash and beets. I can add onions to this. I can adopt more onions from the seedling sales of local farms. They're done selling them. All the rejects that are going to become compost can come here and other places. Here's a swale full of beans and squash on the sides there. Replanted the beans a couple times because I've noticed this monoculture of beans performs less well than the beans on the swales with their mixed polyculture plants. Everything is doing better in these, basically. There's a little oak tree that came from this oak tree, and this pear or plum right here. But yeah, we got peas, beans, peppers, basil, tomatoes, squash, melons, strawberries, clover, grass, and this herb. Can't think of the name of it right now. It's really annoying how I can't think of it once it's time to talk about it. But yeah, here's the more field from which I can scythe the grass and use as mulch. Got Stropharia inoculated into these tree rings around the fruit trees. Here's a peach. Yeah, here's a bed of carrots. I've got strips of mulch going along the sides of the rows where the carrots are growing. You can see the three little distinct rows of carrots growing. And I try to shape this swale to be as flat and possibly even slightly concave in its contour. It's not really, though. It's so narrow it was hard to cup it like that. So, but it's fairly flat and things germinated pretty well. Just about to water those with the bucket. The buckets in the watering can. Yarrow, that's what that is over there. Those little white flowers are yarrow, and they're beneficial to the fruit trees because they provide a habitat for beneficial predatory insects. And here we got our first swale of this system that catches the initial water at that spot over there, which is one of the higher spots that is still wet. But on it we trialed some ground covers. So we have a big patch of buckwheat here. All these white flowers of buckwheat, and the tomatoes and basil hidden in there, and then it transitions to oats. Looks like we have some incidental radish. Those are the yellow flowers there. But these dangly things are oats. Another tomato and some dill and some basil. We go, and the oats ends, and we're back at the buckwheat. And then we're back at the oats. So this is just kind of trialing how well these cover crops did here. I sowed them really early too, and they struggled at first, but it looks like they basically came out of it. So yeah, that's the food forest beginnings right there. Got this swale, right here going downhill that way, and then it catches that big one at the end over there that goes all the way like that. And this one also comes this way, so these two lead together.